Hello, my name is Cynthia Mudhama, Partnerships Manager at Work Her Dream Organization. In 2015, the Millennium Development Goals came to an end. The MDGs, as they were referred to, were formed by the global community under the United Nations with an aim of ensuring that countries were making gains in development. However, ahead of 2015, it was felt that the MDGs were imposed on people since people did not really understand what they meant. And this is why the United Nations embarked on an ambitious program to have people discuss on the issues that they felt were most important to them. Some said it was the gender disparity, others said it was the poverty, while others said it was the struggles that the disabled were going through. The United Nations' fourth Sustainable Development Goal is quality education. The UN wants to ensure inclusive and promote lifelong education for all. Today I will be talking to Lily Okeyo, founder of Work Her Dream, who has made it her personal responsibility to ensure that SDG4 is implemented. So I am thrilled and honored to be interviewing you.
Thank you.
So who's Lily?
I'm a mom first. I'm a sister. I'm a friend, and I'm so many things. I wear so many hats every other day. But what I'm passionate about is promoting quality education for all children and promoting literacy, and also I'm a mental health advocate. Yeah.
Wow, nice. So tell us a bit about your organization and the work you do, the programs you run.
I started working with as a mentorship program for schools, high schools in Eldoret, Kenya, and from there I realized that some girls were missing school, and I kept pushing, and eventually I discovered some miss because of lack of school fees, some miss because of sanitary towels, some miss because they've stopped their studies and gone to become housemaids or domestic workers, and that translates to child labor at the end of the day. And some would miss school, especially from the slum areas. Some would miss school just because their parents could not handle the city life and moved back home. So I started a program in the community at Kamukunji Estate in Eldoret. It's a small slum, and we would do life skills training, we would do mentorship, we would provide sanitary towels, and this now translated to us institutionalizing the activities we were doing in Kamukunji now as Work Her Dream organization back in 2016. Yeah.
So what has been the impact of your activities? What have you been able to achieve where you're based at Kamukunji?
Wow. Now that I look at it, this is our 4th year since we started, and we've been able to put now this year we added on to our number of girls who are receiving full scholarship. We have 9 girls now, and 124 thereabouts on partial support, where we're giving school fees, we're buying uniform, we're buying books, we're just ensuring that we're supporting these kids and their families so that they don't miss a day in school. That's under the education program. We also have an ASRH program, that's adolescent sexual and reproductive health, where we've had a lot of teenage pregnancies happening in our country lately, and I had to do something about it in my own way, and I have a very fabulous team, including you. And with my team, we've been able to go right into the community, talk to guys in the community, and talk about sex, talk about menstrual health management, talk about issues, incest and stuff that are usually not talked about. And this has really helped young girls to come out, gain confidence, boost their self-esteem, and eventually we have more girls in schools and less teenage pregnancies. Under our advocacy program, I'm proud to say that this year we did our 2nd annual walk for education, just to sensitize parents to use the resources available from government and from CSOs, from non-profits, from corporates and other business people, to use those opportunities to ensure that they can afford the fee, or they can take advantage of those opportunities and take their children to school. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank
So
you.
before we started taking the video, you were talking about education being liberating. Can you delve a bit further into that?
It is. First, based on my personal experience, I took 6 years between my high school and my undergraduate, and the journey wasn't easy at some point. That's why I'm also a mental health advocate. At some point, I suffered depression, severe depression, and I became suicidal. I couldn't see a way out, and I knew from my I went through therapy and I started journaling, and as I journaled, I came to discover that I had a passion for education. I wanted to study. I still want to study to the highest level possible. I want to learn. There's no end in learning, and when you have information, then you can make informed decisions. You can make better choices. You can have a better life at the end of the day. Because I struggled to get my education to the level where I am now. And I don't want anybody to have to go through what I went through. I don't want anybody to have to work so hard, do extra odd jobs to go through that. Children should be allowed to be children. Children should be allowed to get access to what they have a right to. That is education, health, food, clothing, all those things. And with education as well, you'll find that as a community, they're able to make better decisions, better development in the community where we have more education. That's why in the first world countries, they have free basic primary and secondary education. And you'll find even the choices they're making, even in promoting talent in children, in development, in technology, they're way ahead of us because they've made sure that they've provided the basic thing that every child needs, which is access to quality education.
Yeah, so basically education is the right level.
Yeah.
So what are your goals for the organization, say in the next 3 to 5 years?
I would really love to have a center. We have a virtual center where we have a safe space for teenage girls and teenage boys. We recently started a program for boys because they've been neglected, where in this safe space, kids can come, they can be themselves, they can talk about what they're going through. And with this center, I'm also hoping to have a daycare center within here, the place, where we can have teenage moms who can come, feel it's a safe space to leave their kids as they go back to school. I also want this program to outlive me, because through our volunteerism platform, I want people to develop skills. I want people to develop a sense of being humane, and a sense of belonging, and a sense of servitude, because in servant leadership, you're able to really bring out change. And I think at this point I would mention this because all of us are working as volunteers, and we are all making a difference, and we are all feeling we're doing something for the community, which is worthwhile. The other vision I have for Work Her Dream is to go beyond Uasin Gishu. We're in Uasin Gishu, we're in Nandi County, but we're supposed to be in 5 counties at a time. We're really engaging to get more partners. We're also looking at having more board members. In fact, we are opening up slots for board members who can apply and come and help push this vision forward. The other vision I have is to just not have the center here, but to also work with CBOs all over Africa, all over Kenya, because my vision is way bigger than Kenya. It's way bigger than East Africa. It's global. It's so scary sometimes when I think about it, but I believe if you believe it hard enough, if you put in effort hard enough, and if you have the right team with the right motivation, nothing is impossible.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So what can you say is the greatest lesson that you've learned so far in your journey?
Love. I have learned to love, and that gets me a bit emotional. When you love, then you cannot have space for hate. When you love, you cannot fight your neighbor. When you love, you cannot see your neighbor's child going hungry and you don't give, yet you have. With love, you'll be able to bring a community together that can serve those who are not able to serve. So my greatest lesson is love regardless of who loves you back. Give love no matter what. Yeah.
That was nice. So I was talking to Lily Okeyo. I am so honored. You're such a blessing to the community.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, for growing, nurturing, and caring for these kids.
Before you go, I would really like to send a shout out to my team, all of you who are working with me, our sponsors, our business partners. my volunteering team. You guys are the best, including you, my dear.
Thank you
I
very
really love you guys, and I believe together we can do this. Together we can transform more lives in Africa. Thank you.
So that is the end of the video. Make sure you subscribe to our IGTV channel for more videos. Thank you very much. I was your host, Cynthia Mudama.